My shy wife's amazing change. After 3 years of marriage, I started to get tired of the same routine. It was only my fault. I knew even before we were married that my wife was ultra-conservative. I hadn't even seen her breasts in the 2 years we'd known each other and was only able to touch them a couple weeks before the wedding, and even then not with my shirt on. We both come from a small town in central Georgia. Her parents are hardcore Baptists who adhere to the Bible. Our families went to the same church, but that was the only thing we had in common. I've known Beck Ann since we were little kids. We started hanging out more in our mid-teens and started dating when we were 18. Becky never wore shorts or short skirts. All of her skirts and dresses were below the knees. The few pants she wore were loose and baggy, and she didn't even own a swimsuit. These were all beliefs and ideas that Becky's parents had twisted her mind with. I got a job 50 miles from our hometown, and Becky didn't want to leave. But some of her friends eventually convinced her that she needed to let her parents go and be with her husband. Once out of town, she eased up on the pressure of needing to. We found an old trailer to move into, but it had no air conditioning. I finally talked her into cutting off a pair of her oldest pair of pants and making shorts out of them to wear in the trailer. Shortly after that, we found out she was pregnant. We had been married for 2 months, and here she was already pregnant. I should have expected this. We didn't know much about birth control. We had a healthy baby boy, and Becky carried him well. She didn't gain much weight and quickly lost almost all of what she had gained. The doctor convinced her to try birth control pills. She tried it, but was afraid her mother would find out and get upset. I think I finally convinced her that her body was her and my concern, not her mother's. I bought her tank tops and shorts to wear around the house to keep her cooler, but I couldn't make her go without a bra or panties, even in bed. I found out that her mother made her wear underwear all the time. She would even put her panties on before leaving the bathroom after taking a bath. Walking around without panties was a sin to her. Since we were married, I tried to convince her that there was nothing wrong with not wearing underwear. We have had many petty fights about me not wearing underwear sometimes. I told her that I had gone without underwear thousands of times over the years, and it was still okay. I said I knew how my sisters got by without panties, especially during the hot summer months. Because when we were kids, we thought we were getting heat rashes when we wore underwear. So after 3 years, I was already tired and full. Then she got a severe rash and had to go to the doctor. She gave her a prescription for antibiotics and an ointment to lubricate the rash. The only thing that bothered my wife was that the doctor told her not to wear any underwear for a week and then come back to see her. The doctor plastered her in her office and made her leave the office without panties. Becky was shocked at this turn of events. She told me that the doctor told her that it was a very bad case of heat rash and that she needed to allow air to pass between her body and that she didn't need the elastic band of her underwear to rub the rash and keep it from improving. My wife wore her long skirts around the house without panties, but wouldn't leave the house like that until she went to the doctor. When I got home, I noticed Becky had a different attitude. She seemed happier and more relaxed. I finally got her to tell me what was wrong. She said that when she was at the doctor's office, the doctor told her that she was feeling better, but she wanted her to stay pantyless for at least another week. And when Becky voiced her concerns to the doctor about not wearing panties, the doctor explained to her that not wearing panties is actually healthy. According to Becky, she then asked the doctor if any women prefer to go without panties, and the doctor replied that she knew many women who rarely wear panties. Becky was surprised and asked with a questioning look, "Really?" And the doctor smiled and said she was one of them. Becky said she was sitting there stunned by the doctor's remark when one of the nurses walked in, and the doctor asked her if she wore panties, to which the girl calmly replied, "No." The doctor then looked at my wife and told her that in her opinion, underwear is almost a useless thing. The only time she wears it is when she puts on a short dress or skirt, or during Women's Days for extra protection. The nurse agreed and said it was the right thing to do, but sometimes it is fun to wear a short skirt or dress without panties. According to her, both the nurse and the doctor giggled at this statement. She told me that they more or less convinced her that there was nothing wrong or immoral about not wearing underwear. The only people who were bothered by this were the people who manufactured them. If no one wore them, they would be out of a job. Becky then said that she didn't have time to make dinner and that it wouldn't be a big deal if we went out to eat. I asked if she was wearing panties. She replied that she didn't, so I decided to take a chance and asked her to show me. She smiled and lifted up her skirt and showed me. I smiled at her and said, "Okay, let's go eat then." She also started walking braless around the house and then around town. It's strange to come home and find Becky wearing nothing but a light summer dress. I love it. She even seemed to like the way I pawed at her body. Now when we kiss and I reach down and grab her body instead of pushing my hands away, she kisses even harder. A few weeks ago, I got a promotion and I called Becky and told her about it. I told her I wanted to go out to eat and find a babysitter. When I got home, she was already dressed and ready to go out. At least, I think it was my wife. She was wearing a tank top and a tight black miniskirt. She asked if I minded if she wore that. I replied, "No." I told her that she looked amazing, but that I might want to take her to bed instead of dinner. She replied, "Calm down, kid. Jane has agreed to keep JJ, our son, all night. We can have fun when we get back." I asked if she was wearing anything under that little skirt. She smiled and shook her head. It was hard for me to enjoy dinner when my wife was almost naked, like she had never been in public before. During our meal, she surprised me again by telling me that she liked being dressed the way she was dressed, and she planned to dress that way more often if I didn't mind. I told her that I didn't mind, and that she knew it had always been my dream and desire for her to dress sexier than she used to. She told me not to worry because she doesn't think she will ever be that woman again. She likes being the woman she was today. She said the only problem she had was that she was so horny she wet her skirt. She was afraid that when she got up, it would leave a big stain on her skirt. I told her not to worry about it. I could walk beside her as we left. When we got up, I turned to put the tip on the table, but she kept walking toward the door. And yes, she did have a stain on her skirt in the back. I caught up with her at the door and told her that I think she wanted me to walk behind her. She only smiled and said she had changed her mind. For the first time in our marriage, she actually played with my body through my pants on the way home. And when she got home, she wanted to have sex with me. We've been having sex in a lot of new positions lately. I don't know what has gotten into my wife in the last few months, but I'm not complaining. She has bought a lot of new sexier new clothes and got rid of her old feminine clothes. One of the biggest surprises happened a couple weeks ago. We had just moved into a new house, centrally heated and ventilated, and were about to go swimming in the pool when there was a knock on the door. I was only wearing a pair of black boxer brief-type shorts, and Becky was wearing a tiny hot pink thong. She didn't even try to cover herself to open the door. It was her family. Her mom lashed out at Becky, calling her a cheater, and turned around and stomped back to the car. Becky kept her composure and told her mother that she might be a cheater, but a very happy and contented cheater with a wonderful husband who knew how to make her happy in the bedroom. Her mother turned away, her face red and her mouth wide open. I approached Becky from behind and reached out to hug her. She turned in my embrace and told me to grab her body as I kissed her. Wow! Her mother covered her mouth and pouted and got in the car, waiting for everyone else. Becky smiled and hugged Julie, her 16-year-old sister, and thanked her, telling Becky that she looked really good. Becky told her that she could come over any time and that if she ever needed a place to stay, we had a spare bed she could use. Her sister is a beautiful girl. That could be interesting. I'm sure Becky has something to teach her and something to wean her off of. I came home the other day and my Becky was in the pool basking in the sun and naked. I told her to be careful or the neighborhood teenager might see her. She looked at me and smiled. He already has. He was looking through a hole in the fence until you walked into the backyard and scared him off. I was so excited to know that there was another man looking at me besides you. I didn't realize how much I could enjoy having strangers see my body. Climbing naked out of the pool, she said to me, "You know, I was looking at your website yesterday. You know, the one with all the letters. Anyway, I remember reading about a woman who liked to walk around in public nearly naked and let strangers see her body. I thought she was crazy, but I don't know. It might be fun, but only if you're with me in case I'm in danger." I told her that when she was ready to try it, just let me know. I told her that I'd had a couple of dreams about her riding in the car next to me topless and the truckers honking and waving at her as we passed them. She hugged me tight and kissed me and then said, "Sounds like fun. Let's do it now. Julie's gone to JJ's and won't be back until 7, so we have a couple hours to do it." I took her hand and led her naked to the pickup truck. She was having so much fun. My humble, shy, insecure bride had turned into a proud, confident, relaxed, fun-loving wife and mother. I bought a couple of adult movies this afternoon. I can't wait to see her reaction to them. The end! Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.